Welcome to my music theory and reading music course. You can read every lesson in this series at your ease at pianotheoryexercises.com, where you will also find interactive exercises to practice what you've learned. Below this video you will find links to those lessons and exercises on the website. Also below this video you will find a link where you can download this whole music theory course as a free ebook, so don't miss this opportunity. And if my lessons helped you, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot! In lesson 9 in the music theory series, I'm going to talk about chords. In this lesson, I will not yet tell you how to form chords. That will be in the next lessons. In this lesson, you're going to listen to the sound of different chords. Now, chords are very important in music. They enable you to very quickly play a song without even the need to read notes. When you know the chord progression of a song, you can very easily accompany other musicians. So again, in this lesson I will not tell you how to form a chord, that will be in next lessons, but I will tell you what a chord is, and you can listen to different chords how they sound. So yes, what is actually a chord? Well, a chord is a group of notes that are played simultaneously. And this group of notes consists normally of 3 or more notes. By the way, it's not necessarily so that you play all the notes of the chord simultaneously. You can also play broken chords. This means that you play the notes of the chords one after the other. We also call this arpeggiating a chord. Now, there exist a lot of different sorts of chords, of which the most known are the minor and major chords. But other chord types also exist, like diminished chords, augmented chords, and a lot more. But I would say that the most important chords are the major chords, the minor chords, and to some extent also the diminished chords. In chords, we distinguish 2 types of chords: triads and seventh chords. And I will start with triads. A triad is a chord that consists of 3 different notes. And those 3 different notes are the root, the 3rd note, and the 5th note of a scale. And that scale can be a major scale, a minor scale, or another scale. So that's a triad. What about 7th chords? Well, a 7th chord is very simply a triad with an added 7th note. And by 7th note, I mean the 7th note of a scale, which means that a 7th chord consists of the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th note of a scale. Okay, now after this short introduction of what a chord is, I want you to listen to several examples of chords. Now, of all the examples that you will hear, the root of the chord is always the note C. This is so that you can easily compare the different types of chords. So let's start with the examples, and I will start with triads, and I will start with the easiest triad, which is the C major triad. Now I will play this C major triad on the keyboard. You don't have to look at exactly what I play, to the notes I play. You may, of course, but most important is that you just listen to the chord. Here it comes. And now a C minor triad. And a C diminished triad. And a C augmented triad. Now, to be honest, in my lessons I will not talk anymore about augmented triads, but just so that you hear how an augmented triad sounds. So here is the C augmented triad. So you see that only with 3 notes, with triads, you already have a lot of possibilities to make it sound differently, even if we have the whole time C as a root note. Let's go to the 7th chord. And I remind you that a 7th chord is just a triad with an added 7th. Now this 7th can be a major 7th, minor 7th, or even diminished 7th. Perhaps you don't know what a diminished 7th is, but I will explain all that when we do diminished chords. So there we go, and I will start with the C dominant 7th chord. Now a C major 7th chord. A C minor 7th chord. A C minor major 7th chord. The C diminished chord, and the last chord, the C half diminished chord. Now, are those all the chord forms that exist? No, but I would say they are the most important ones. And in the next lessons, I will explain you how to form those chords. Now, it would be good if you would listen one more time with attention to all the differences of the chords. You can also do that in the article that you can find in the link down this video on pianotheoryexercises.com. So in a first step, you could listen to the differences between major, minor, diminished and augmented triads. And after the triads, it would be good to see what the effect is when a seventh is added to the triads. So for example, listen first to a major triad and then listen to a dominant chord or a major seventh chord, just to see what the effect is of an added seventh. In the first case, it's an added minor seventh. In the second case, it's an added major seventh. You could do the same thing with minor chords. So first listen to a minor triad and then to a minor seventh chord or to a minor major seventh chord. In the first case, there's a minor seventh added to the minor triad. In the second case, a major seventh. So try this all out, and in the next lessons I will teach you how to form minor and major triads and seventh chords.